My name is Rebecca. I am 35 years old. I live in a small town called Riverside. It is a beautiful place with green hills and a blue river. I have lived here all my life. I work as a teacher at the local school. I teach children who are 10 years old. I love my job. I love seeing children learn and grow. But my life was not always happy. 5 years ago, everything changed. I was married to a man named David. We had been together for 8 years. We lived in a nice house near the river. We had plans to start a family. We wanted to have children. We were happy, or so I thought. One day I came home early from work. The school had closed because of a storm. When I entered our house, it was quiet. Too quiet. I called out for David. There was no answer. I went upstairs to our bedroom. The door was open. I walked in and stopped. My heart began to beat fast. Something was wrong. The closet door was open. David's clothes were gone. All of them. On the bed was a letter. My hands shook as I picked it up. The letter was from David. It said he was leaving me. He had met someone else. He said he was not happy with me anymore. He said he needed a new life. He was moving to another city. He was not coming back. I sat on the bed and cried. I cried for hours. I couldn't believe it. How could he leave me like this with just a letter after 8 years together? That night was the hardest of my life. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I just cried and cried. The next day, I called the school. I told them I was sick. I stayed in bed all day. Friends called, but I didn't answer. I wanted to be alone. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. I lived like a ghost in my own house. I went to work. I came home. I slept. That was my life. Empty and sad. 1 year after David left, I was still sad, but I was also angry. I was angry at David for leaving. I was angry at myself for not seeing it coming. I was angry at life for being so unfair. I decided I needed to change. I couldn't live like this anymore. I needed to find happiness again. I started small. I bought a new plant for my house. I named it Hope. Every day I took care of Hope. I watered it. I talked to it. It was silly, but it helped. Next, I joined a book club. It met every Wednesday evening. There were 6 other people in the club. We read books and talked about them. It was nice to talk to people again. Slowly, I started to feel better. I started to smile more. I started to enjoy teaching again. I started to live again. But I still felt lonely, especially at night. The house felt too big for just me. One rainy Sunday, I went to the animal shelter. I wasn't planning to get a pet. I just wanted to volunteer, to help clean the cages and feed the animals. The shelter was full of dogs and cats, all looking for homes, all looking for love. As I walked through the shelter, I saw a dog. He was old and had one eye. His fur was grey and white. He was lying in his cage, quiet and alone. No one wanted him. He was too old. He wasn't cute like the puppies. I asked about him. The shelter worker said his name was Max. His owner had died. Max had been at the shelter for 6 months. No one wanted to adopt him. I felt a connection with Max. We were both alone. We both needed a second chance. I decided to adopt him. The shelter worker was surprised. "Are you sure?" she asked. "He's old and doesn't have much time left." I nodded. "I'm sure," I said. "We all deserve a second chance." I took Max home that day. He was scared at first. He hid under the table, but I was patient. I talked to him softly. I gave him time to adjust. After a few days, Max started to trust me. He slept on the floor next to my bed. He followed me around the house. He wagged his tail when I came home. Having Max changed my life. I had someone to take care of. I had a reason to come home. I had a friend. We went for walks every day. We played in the yard. We watched TV together at night. Max made me laugh again. He made me happy. One day, while walking Max in the park, I met someone. His name was Thomas. He had a dog too. A young, energetic dog named Bella. Bella wanted to play with Max. Thomas and I started talking. He was new to town. He had moved here for work. He was a doctor at the local hospital. We talked for a long time. It was easy to talk to him. He was kind and funny. Before we left, he asked for my number. I hesitated. I hadn't dated anyone since David left. I was scared, but I gave him my number. Thomas called me the next day. He invited me for coffee. I said yes. We met at a small cafe near the park. We talked for hours. He told me about his life. He had been married before too. His wife had died from cancer. He had moved to our town for a fresh start. I told him about David. I told him how hurt I had been. He listened without judging. He understood pain. He had felt it too. After that, we saw each other often. We walked our dogs together. We had dinner together. We watched movies together. Thomas was different from David. He was honest. He was reliable. He was there when he said he would be. Slowly, I began to trust again. Slowly, I began to love again. 1 year after meeting Thomas, he asked me to marry him. We were sitting by the river. The sun was setting. It was beautiful. I was scared to say yes. What if it didn't work out? What if he left me too? Thomas saw my fear. He held my hand. I can't promise that life will be perfect, he said, but I can promise that I will never leave you like he did. I will always talk to you. I will always respect you. I will always love you. I believed him. I said yes. We got married in a small ceremony, just family and close friends. Max was there too, wearing a small bow tie. It was the happiest day of my life. Today, 3 years later, I am truly happy. Thomas and I live in the house by the river. Max is still with us, older but still wagging his tail. We also have a daughter now, a beautiful baby girl named Sophie. She has my eyes and Thomas's smile. Looking back, I realized that David leaving was not the end. It was a new beginning. It was a chance to find real love. It was a chance to find myself. Sometimes the worst moments in our lives lead to the best ones. Sometimes what feels like an ending is really a second chance. Life doesn't always go as planned. People will hurt us. We will face hard times. But we must never lose hope. We must never stop trying. We must never give up on love. Because everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone deserves happiness. Everyone deserves love. Even when it seems impossible. Even when it hurts. Even when we're scared. So if you're going through a hard time right now, remember my story. Remember that this is not the end. It's just a new beginning. It's your second chance.